The Democratic extremism is not relegated only to the 2020 race. There's an unfortunate truth. Anti-Semitism has a home in the Democratic Party. It does. And Ilhan Omar is praised by the higher-ups in the Democratic Party, despite saying routinely anti-Semitic things. Every 2 weeks, she has to apologize for anti-Semitism. She's like that GIF from Futurama, days since accident. The person who goes up and nails up a 1, and then the 1 falls down to reveal a 0. Days since anti-Semitism. Ilhan Omar, usually it's about 10, and then she has to reset it back to 0. So you'll recall that Ilhan Omar, like literally 2.5 weeks ago, tweeted out it's all about the Benjamins with regard to American support for Israel, as though the Jews, the nefarious Jews, were paying off Americans to support Israel. And then she apologized for it, but not really. She says, no, I never apologized for being anti-Semitic. And she walked back her own apology.
You've since apologized unequivocally for the tweet. You've said rightly that anti-Semitism is real. But just to be clear, I mean, we're a few weeks on now. What were you apologizing for? Was it a badly worded tweet that you were apologizing for? Or was it for being anti-Semitic wittingly or unwittingly?
Oh, absolutely not. I apologized for the way that my words made people feel. The reason and the purpose of the apology was to make sure that the people who were hurt felt understood and heard.
Okay, that's an amazing non-apology, right? That's so fresh and so face Ilhan Omar. I mean, on the cover of Rolling Stone with Nancy Pelosi, smiling and grinning away, open anti-Semite. Open anti-Semite. So is Rashida Tlaib, also an open anti-Semite, who in the past has suggested that American Jews are rife with dual loyalty, that American Jews only like Israel because they're actually secretly nefarious Jewish workers for the Jewish state. The Jews! It can't be that American Jews are supportive of Israel because Israel is the home of Jews protecting Jewish lives. Israel is a democracy, the only democracy in the region, and the place all over the world where Muslims have the most rights. Right? It can't be because of that. It has to be because Jews are nefarious secret agents of the Israeli state. That's really why all of this is happening. Rashida Tlaib tweeted something out about that 3 months ago. No apology from Rashida Tlaib. So open anti-Semitism, totally fine inside the Democratic Party. And Ilhan Omar, that apology is an incredible apology. Imagine that you get in a fight with your spouse and you say something truly terrible to your spouse. I mean, you do essentially what Ilhan Omar did, and you call your wife a whore. I mean, she's basically suggesting that American Jews and Americans who support Israel are whores who can be bought off with money. That's basically what she suggested when she said it's all about the Benjamins. Imagine you said to your wife, you know what, sweetheart, you're a whore. And then she said, well, that's a pretty awful thing to say. How dare you? That's an evil, terrible thing to say. And he said, you know what, I apologize for how my words made you feel. No, it's the thing you said that's evil. It's the thing you said that's bad. But Ilhan Omar never apologized really for those comments. But we were all supposed to overlook that because so fresh, so face. And of course, she can claim in her intersectional way that she is a minority woman from Somalia who is a Muslim, and therefore that's the reason people are angry. Not because she's a rabid anti-Semite, and she's been consistently anti-Semitic for legitimately her entire career. It's not because of that. It's because she's a Muslim woman that people are very angry at her. Weird, because there are lots of Muslims that I know who are not anti-Semitic, and yet she is anti-Semitic. So I have very little faith that this has anything to do with Islam. I have a lot of faith that it has to do with her being a blatant anti-Semite is the reason why people are upset with her.